Hello and welcome to another video. So today what we're going to be looking at is calories, how to track them, and how to calculate your maintenance calories more specifically. Now there's lots of methods of calculating your calories, lots of apps out there that help you to do it. I use one that's on my phone called Samsung Health, but I think a very popular one is also MyFitnessPal. These make it very easy. I think you can scan barcodes and it makes it super easy just to calculate calories. It's not too tricky, especially once you get into a few weeks. It may seem daunting at the start to try and track your calories, but after a couple of weeks it becomes very easy and just becomes part of your day-to-day. And honestly, it doesn't take up much extra time because you can sort of do it as you're cooking. So it's really easy and something I recommend you just start doing even if you're not looking to go onto a diet or anything. It's just always useful to know, especially down the road when you maybe start to look into planning your training and planning on whether or not you want to change your physique or whatever it may be. So what I did when I first started and I did my 10-week program is I hadn't had a build-up of 2 weeks before to calculate my calorie maintenance very specifically. So what I did is I used a calculator online. There's lots of them out there that can help you get a rough maintenance. And then from there, I decided I wanted to lose 1 pound of body fat per week. And as you'll see later on in the video, it's very easy to calculate how to do that just based off your calories. But what's really important to know is that as you're counting your calories, you've got to make sure you're tracking your weight as well. This is so that you can see if you're gaining, losing, and making sure you're hitting the targets that you want. For some people, you may not want to lose weight too fast. If you're higher in the body fat percentage, you can tend to lose weight a lot faster and not worry about losing muscle. However, when I started, especially with my 10-week program, I had to make sure that I was trying to maintain, possibly even try and gain muscle whilst simultaneously losing fat, which I think I did pretty well. And to do that, I aim to lose roughly around 1 pound of body fat per week. I will say it was quite tricky, especially because I hadn't got my exact maintenance calories to begin with. So after the first couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I was able to see how much I was losing, how much I was gaining, whatever it was. I mean, I was losing, but I just had to make sure that I wasn't losing weight too fast. And I think in the first couple of weeks, I realized I was losing about 0.7 to 0.9 between there pounds of body fat. So I was pretty close to the target, but I adjusted slightly and just went down a little bit more, or maybe just increase the cardio. But I chose to go down in terms of calories because I didn't want to increase cardio because I want to try and maintain as much muscle mass as possible. And in future videos, I can go into more depth as to why having cardio could affect the amount of muscle that you manage to maintain. So we're going to look more specifically into how to calculate your calorie maintenance. So I've got a little presentation here which can help sort of visualize it for you people out there, and hopefully you can use it to apply to yourself. And again, it's very individualized, and calories and your metabolism, how fast you lose weight, how much you can gain, how much muscle mass you can gain. So again, it's very important that you watch this full video. It will tell you exactly how to make sure that you're calculating your calorie maintenance specifically for yourself, tailored for yourself, and how to track that over time. So as you can see here, we have our estimate method of calculating our daily calorie intake. What we do quite simply is take 10, times that by our current body weight, and then times that by an activity multiplier. Now this activity multiplier, as you see below, ranges from sedentary all the way up to very active. Sedentary being someone in an office job, very active being someone like a construction worker, personal trainer, whatever that may be. What it also takes into account already is the fact that you're probably training 3 to 6 times a week of resistance training, weightlifting. So even if you train 6 times a week, that doesn't put you automatically on that very active scale. It may mean that you're still down in the sedentary if you work in an office and then you go train 6 times a week. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. Now the scale ranges from 1.3 up to 2.2. Again, you can sort of determine where you might be just based on what you feel like you do during the day. So for example, for myself, I currently weigh 160 pounds. I times that by 10, which gets me 1600, and then I times that by 1.8. I'm currently a PE teacher, so I'm walking around quite a lot during the day, sometimes running, and the activity that I do can get a lot more vigorous than someone who's maybe in an office job. And that got me a estimate calories of 2,880. So as we move on to a more foolproof method of calculating your calorie intake, something that's less of an estimate and more personalized to you, let's take a look. So here we have the ideal method for calculating your maintenance calories. So step one, what you're going to need to do is track your daily weight and the calories you consume for a total of 2 weeks. Now, what I recommend is when you're tracking your daily weight is to weigh yourself in the morning as soon as you get up. Okay, weigh yourself, and then I think that's the most accurate way that you're going to be able to calculate your weight, because it's not then determined by how much you've eaten or drunk during the day and other things like that. So I would say as soon as you get up, go weigh yourself. And then for calories, obviously just use an app like MyFitnessPal, or some phones already come with them on. So just whatever's easiest for you, just track your calories, how much you're consuming every single day for the entirety of the 2 weeks. And then from there, what we will determine is how much weight you've gained or lost between week 1 and week 2. So we would have taken an average weight of from week 1 and then an average weight from week 2. Okay, and we'll see how much weight you've gained, lost, maintained. It could be exactly the same. It's just a way to see exactly how much the difference is between week 1 and week 2. And then from there, we can go on to the final step 3. Now, what we know is that 3,000 calories roughly equates to around a pound of body fat. So for example, if you're eating 3,500 calories more than your maintenance, then you're going to be gaining 1 pound of body fat. If you eat 3,500 less than your maintenance calories, then chances are you're going to be losing a pound of body fat. Simple as that. So, for example here, this person here has weighed themselves for 2 weeks and has tracked their calories for 2 weeks as well. Now, the calories from week 1 don't matter too much, but it's always a good habit, especially if you want a most accurate measurement on week 2. Week 2's calories is going to be much more important. So week 1 you can sort of use as a way just to get experience with the app that you're using and just get an understanding of how to track your calories better. Anyway, what they have found is that they are 161.1 pounds average over the seven days of week 1. And then they do the same for week 2, and they see that they're now 162.1 pounds, which is a total of a 1 pound weight gain from week 1 to week 2. So then what we'll do is we'll take their calories that they consume throughout week 2, which was 19,700. So we'll do 19,000 minus 3,500, because we know that 3,500 calories equates to around a pound of body fat. So 19,700 minus 3,500, which equals 16,200 calories per week. Now that's their maintenance for the entire week. Now obviously if you want to go into how many calories you can have per day, just do 16,200 divided by the amount of days in a week, which is 7, and you get around about 2,300 calories per day. Now this is a much better method for trying to assess your maintenance calories, and it's going to be a lot more personal to you because everyone's different. So using the first example, it's just going to give you a rough estimate, but this is going to be a lot more accurate and a lot more personalized too. So this is something I 100% recommend everyone trying, especially before they go into anything too extreme in terms of dieting or training or whatever it may be.
So I hope that presentation was helpful, and that you're able to now go and take what you've just learned and apply it to yourself, and track calories, even if it's not something that you're doing in terms of training, even if it's just something you're just randomly interested in. Hopefully it's useful for you, and you can apply it to yourself, and you'll be able to get a much more accurate representation of your calorie maintenance. I know I've had a few people recently talking to me about how about the program I did. They saw my progress and they were impressed with it, and they wanted how can I
use what you've been doing to apply to myself. And I've said to them, look, the most important thing is that you just develop your own understanding of the way that your body works and the way that calories work, and the way that tracking loads of different things is going to help you to hit the goals that you want. So for example, one of my close friends, he's looking to try and gain a bit of body mass, and he struggles with that at the moment. He's a hard gainer for sure. He can eat a lot of food and stays very slim. And so he's trying to set a target for himself to get a lot bigger. And what we might find is that even though these online calorie calculators, the maintenance ones, they say that his calorie maintenance is maybe 1700, 1800, 1900, whatever. It might be that due to the way his metabolism is, the way his hormones work and all this, all these individualized factors, it may turn out that he is more actually up in the 3,000 range, 4,000, 5,000, obviously maybe going a bit over the top there, but the point still stands is that it's very individualized, and it's very important to know that you can't just go online and find all the answers for you. They'll give you rough estimates, they'll help you a little bit along the way, but again, everything in terms of training, in terms of nutrition, it's all going to be very individualized, and just it takes a bit of time. But hopefully all the videos that I put out and all the information and recipes and whatever, I just want to try and make it easier for people who were in a similar position to me, who didn't have a super great understanding, and hopefully it will help you guys hit the goals that you want to reach. But again, thank you for watching. I'll hopefully go into more details on more of my program that I did, maybe more specific on the training side of things, but I know nutrition is one of the bigger things that people like to try and hit, and it's definitely something that I'm trying to learn along the way. So again, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please share, please hit like, and please comment as well. Any feedback is good, especially as I'm just starting out. Thank you very much.